Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Riley, and in this video I'm going to do an EDC update, and I'm also going to do a comparison video. By no means am I attempting to bash or talk bad about either one of these pistols. These are just my thoughts and opinions, so if you don't agree with what I'm saying, go ahead and leave a comment in the comment section and we will talk it out civilly. So like I said, guys, if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that I have been using the Kel-Tec PF-9 as my EDC, and normally I have it on me, but just for the video, for the looks, I kind of wanted to put everything back in its box so I could show you guys how everything looks and stuff like that. So when you buy the Kel-Tec PF-9, obviously it doesn't come with this grip. I put this Hogue grip on it myself because I find it easier to hold on to. So that's why I put that on there. But it does come with one 7-round capacity single stack 9mm magazine. It also comes with a little extension grip, which I did apply to the other magazine, which I bought actually on eBay.com. So when you apply the extension, the pinky extension, it actually gives you a full grip, or almost a full grip, on the PF-9 here. And as you can see, I can basically fit my entire hand, 3 fingers, on this pistol with that extension. Now this pistol is unloaded, as you can see here. I always safety check the guns before, but I know people freak out if you don't do it on the videos. So that's what I've been carrying for about the last 6 months or so. Kel-Tec PF-9. I've been training with it that entire time, and it is a fun gun. The only thing, I guess I should reword it, it's actually not a fun gun to shoot. It's a good gun because it's very slim and very concealable, but it's not a very fun gun to shoot. Just because it's extremely lightweight, it's extremely slim, therefore it has a decent amount of recoil. It kicks a little bit because it's a 9mm and it's so small. So this gun is completely stock. The only things I did to it obviously are the Hogue grip and the magazine extension. Now, we are going to look at my new EDC. That's right, I changed guns. I've done it 2 times so far. If you've been following my channel since the beginning, 11 months ago, you know I've only really been into shooting about a year. I started with the Taurus TCP as my EDC. I was with that for a couple months, and then I wanted to go to something bigger because that was a 380. And it was just too small for my liking. I went to the PF-9. This is what I've got now. And now I've made another switch. I didn't switch because, I'll tell you why I switched later in the video. So this is my Smith & Wesson Shield 9mm. So I actually got a really good deal with this gun. I actually got 2 8-round magazines with it, and then obviously the 7-round magazine. So I got 3 magazines with this gun. One was basically, they had a promotion, and I was able to pick up this gun with 3 magazines, which is pretty awesome because, in my opinion, the more magazines you have, the better, because backup, or if you're training with them, or the scenarios could be endless, but the more magazines you have is much better. So, I was carrying the PF-9 with the Hogue grip and the extension. That's how I was carrying this gun. I'm not sure how I will carry the Shield yet. I'm not sure if I'm going to do the 8-round magazine or the 7-round magazine. But if you notice, the 8-round magazine has plenty of real estate, as you can see here. When I'm holding the pistol, see my fingers I'm able to fit all my fingers on the pistol with no problem with the 8-round magazine because it has an extension. Now, most likely I will only be carrying the 7-round magazine in the pistol because of concealability. But as you can see, I'm getting the same thing. I'm barely able to hang on with my pinky to the grip. But for concealability, that's fine with me. So I'll probably be running the 7-round magazine in there when I'm carrying this gun every day. But obviously I'll have a backup 8-round magazine, or at least 2 of them in the car, so I can get that full grip on there. And when I'm at the range, I can also just, throw these bad boys on and have a full grip on the gun like so. So now that we've talked about that, I'm going to go over what I like about the shield. I've never owned a shield before. This is my first shield. So, let me safety check it for all you safety Nazis out there. So, I guess I will just keep the 7-rounder in the gun. So, first impressions of the shield. It's a lot. It feels a lot heavier than my PF-9. Probably because it is. I'm not going to talk specs, guys. I don't like talking specs because there's lots of other people's videos you can watch that go over the exact, measurements of these guns. I like talking about my opinion and how I like the gun in my hand and how it feels, stuff like that. So if you're looking for super detailed stuff, don't watch this video. This is just my opinion. So first thing I noticed when I picked this bad boy up is it definitely, it feels heavier than the PF-9. It feels more solid, which is a good thing. Number 2, second thing I noticed is this one has, the PF-9 doesn't have a safety, just a long trigger pull. This one does have a safety right there. When you enact that safety, you cannot pull the trigger. They make the shields without safeties, but I got mine cheap. The one with the safety was cheaper, so I just bought it. Obviously, I will just leave the safety off because I don't think safeties are necessary at all. So, second thing I noticed about the shield, the trigger is 100 times better than the PF-9. Now, when I pull this trigger, it's not mushy at all to me. There's a little give, and then I come here, there's a little give, then the wall, little give, wall, shoots. So, as you can see, a little give, and it's very easy to tell when you're about to shoot. So, when you're about to shoot, you can feel it. You're like, okay, I know it's going to break right there. Easy. I love that trigger. Now, if we go to the PF-9, don't get me started on the PF-9. That's one thing I don't like about the trigger. I know the trigger's long because it's kind of a safety, but watch this. I don't know when this is going to break. Like, I know eventually it's going to break once I hit the very back, but look at that. Look how far back the trigger is, and it's still not hitting the wall. It's still not firing. Look, I'm so far back, and it's still not going off. And it's so hard to get used to this trigger because you're pulling it so far back, and literally that's how far back you have to pull it before it goes off. That's the wall right there, guys. It's the longest trigger in the world. It's crazy. So that's one thing I definitely like about the shield is easy trigger, nice trigger. I could shoot this all day, Look at that. Well, like I know it's going to shoot right there. Easy. Not a lot of, it's not very hard to predict where this is going to shoot. So if we're doing it, guys, I'm just doing this comparison just for fun. This isn't serious. These are just the pros and cons in my opinion. So concealability, lightweight goes to the Kel-Tec. They get a point for that because this gun is lighter, slimmer, easier to conceal. So point goes to Kel-Tec. Overall grip, yeah, definitely a point goes to the shield. It's easier to hold. Trigger goes to the shield. It's easier to pull. Like, it's easier to predict. Overall looks, this is, again, my opinion. Here's the PF-9. I would say looks, again, go to the shield. I think the shield is a much better looking gun. That's my opinion. The shield also gets a point for magazines. If you buy the shield, you get 2 magazines, a 7-round and an 8-round. You buy the Kel-Tec, you only get 1 7-round magazines. So another point goes to the shield. So, you know, and it costs around $30 for an extra magazine for the Kel-Tec. So you have to take that into consideration. Running price on both of these guns, I would say the PF-9, you can find them for around $250, $260. Shield, you can find them for around anywhere from $320 to $340 on average. So, you know, the shield is a little bit more money, almost $100 more, but, you know, you get what you pay for. So, and you get more magazines. And again, I'm not trying to trash talk any of these guns, but I think the consensus is that the shield is much more, has a better history than the PF-9. I've found this PF-9 to be incredibly reliable, like almost no malfunctions. But what I'm saying overall, you hear that the shields are a lot more reliable than the PF-9s because just as a consensus, that's what I've heard from like dozens of forums online to talking to people at gun store owners, etc. The shield is just known to be reliable. So maybe it is worth that extra $90, $80. Like I said, guys, I got 3 magazines in my gun because there was a special promotion, so I was able to do that, which was pretty awesome. Next, rackability, which is probably not a word. What I mean by that is how easy is it to rack the slide. PF-9, it's not hard, but it's not the easiest slide to rack ever. Shield, I would say the shield is twice as easy to rack the slide than the PF-9. It's so much easier to rack that slide. And the serrations on the PF-9 are not that nice, so it makes it kind of difficult to rack it. Obviously, it's not very hard to rack it, but it's not as easy as the shield, so another point goes to the shield because it's super easy to rack the slide. And I like the serrations. See those serrations on the shield? Very nice. Sorry, I'm going really close to the camera. Super nice serrations on there. I think the 2.0 or the Performance Center has serrations on the front, but this one doesn't. This is the original shield, by the way. So, next thing I'm going to go over is I'm going to give another point to the Kel-Tec because it does have a little rail system to mount lights on or lasers or whatever you want. The shield does not, so there's another point for the Kel-Tec. Again, these guys, these are just my opinions, so if you don't like them, don't watch the video. This is just what I think. So original grip on the pistol grip. I think the shield wins this. I'm not going to put anything on here because I like the grip for the shield. See, I did not like the grip for the PF-9, and that's why I put this Hogue grip on there. So definitely I think the shield wins in terms of grip. Definitely. Next thing we're going to talk about real quick is the mag release, mag drop. Mag release is very big on the PF-9. Very easy to hit. No problems. The shield, the mag release is about a little smaller, maybe around the same size. I can't really say which one I like better. They're both really easy to hit. I would say the Kel-Tec PF-9 mag release stands out more, so it might be a little easier to hit. But I'm not going to call a winner on that one because they're so similar. So that's a draw. Sights. Let me move this. I like the sights better on the shield. Definitely better on the shield. The ones on the PF-9 are not bad, but I would say the shield wins for the sights. Takedown. Again, this one you just rack the slide, pull the lever down, take the slide off. This one you rack the slide, pull that pin out, and take the slide off. That's a tie. They're both equally the same. The shield gets another point for the nice. We have a nice loaded chamber indicator, so when there's a bullet in the chamber, you can easily tell by just looking into there. I'm giving the shield a point for that. Other than that, guys, trying to see if I missed anything. I guess the last but not least, the main thing is the shooting. You know, I said the PF-9 wins for concealability and ease of concealability. It's easier to carry the PF-9 because it's smaller and it's lighter and it's slimmer. The shield wins for the ease of shooting. I would rather shoot this any day than shoot the PF-9. The PF-9 is such a burden to shoot because it flips, it kicks. It's not the funnest gun to shoot. Ask anyone that has a PF-9, it's not the funnest gun to shoot. Whereas the shield, it's heavier, it's bigger, and when I put like an 8-round magazine in there, I could spend all day at the range shooting this thing because it's so much easier to control than the PF-9. So those are just some pros and cons of each gun. I hope you liked this video and it gives you some insight on which gun to choose between the two. Just know that now my EDC is the Smith & Wesson M&P 9 Shield. I'm not saying anything bad about the PF-9. I still think it's a good gun, but I have now moved on to the Shield, and that's my EDC. And I hope you like this video, and please give me a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing to my channel. Thanks.